Motivate. As you know, I'm Coach Ty,
I'm Kaylin.
I'm Joe.
and we got a quick nutrition talk with you today. And we want to talk about your mindset towards, I guess, processed food or the things you really love, and your mindset towards it. With Motivate, with our clients who come and see us, we talk about nutrition a lot. We do a lot of nutrition counseling, and we promote whole foods, right? Eat a whole food diet, right? And if you can eat more whole foods versus processed food, you'll see the results you want. So we're talking about fruits, vegetables, whole grains, legumes, nuts, seeds, lean meats, and so forth, right? And we say if you do that consistently, day in and day out, right, you'll start seeing the results you want. You'll lean up and so forth. But with new clients coming in, they haven't had a diet of whole foods in like years or their whole life. They've been eating hamburgers, pizza, eating cheese dip, so forth. Milkshakes, things like that, and they have a habit of eating certain foods that are harmful to their body, but they have a habit of eating it, and it's stressful to think about making a change. They know they need to make the change, but it's stressful, right? And so when we say, in order to make that change, in order to see health and see improvements, like you have to completely overhaul your diet and eat this way. But that causes a lot of stress, and it causes a lot of frustration inside, and it's hard, and it causes stress. And when you're stressed out, you want to stress eat. You want to go back to the things that make you feel good, right? So we want to talk about a mindset towards those things. Like we say get rid of the processed food, but you don't have to not eat those foods. Like we're not saying that you have to only eat these foods and never eat these foods ever again. Like that's not a good mindset to say. You shouldn't say I'm going to completely eliminate all of this. I mean, if you can, great. Right? But we want you to still be able to enjoy those foods, but you need to have a certain mindset towards those foods. Right. And so,
yeah. No, I think Ty brings up a great point. And it kind of comes back to when we talk about having a healthy relationship with food, right? We want you to have a healthy relationship with food so that you see food not only as, something you eat that tastes good, but more importantly, something that's going to help you fuel you throughout your day, something that's going to help with your training. And so one of the things that I always have in my mind when I'm doing my own training for my 100-milers or trail races, whatever, is that my food has to has to power me to do my training appropriately. So if I have that goal of I want to run 100 miles, I have to keep in mind every day that the things that I eat, they're either going to help me towards that goal or they're going to hurt me from making that goal. And you have goals the same way, right? So you have goals. Maybe your goal coming in is to lose 30 or 40 pounds. Well, if you have that goal, then the foods that you eat, they need to support that goal for you. So eating the right foods that keep you on a path of progression rather than foods that set you back for a couple days and then you have to get over that inflammation that food causes or the energy drain that food causes. That's going to put you on a roller coaster of ups and downs. You're never going to get the progress that you really want to see.
Mm-hmm. I would also say that no matter what your goal is, we all have different goals. I don't necessarily have a goal to run 100 miles, right? Mm-hmm. But I stay fit because I want to be able to pick up and go for a hike anytime I want or be able to run a 10K with it not being too much of a big deal.
Right.
So that's why I do it. With different goals, it does change the way that we want to fuel our bodies, but I think it's really, really important, a couple things, that one, every person is different. We're all going to need, that we won't be able to eat exactly what someone else is eating, right, to reach that goal. And secondly, I'm losing my train of thought. What you eat, it doesn't ever not have any effect. You know what I mean? So what you're eating, it either helps you or it hurts you. There is no middle ground. There's no middle ground. Like this won't have any effect. If I eat this bag of Doritos, it's not going to have any effect. It either hurts you or it helps you. So when you're making that choice, if you can get to the point where you think about what you're putting in your body, and it takes practice, but when you think about making a choice between a healthy option and a not healthy option, ice cream for dessert or fruit instead, if you can get to that point where you are really asking yourselves, is this going to help me or is this going to hurt me, then tying it into your nutrition and your goals that way is a big step forward.
Okay, well, let's do an example. So a lot of times I see, people are like, oh, I'm eating healthy, right? Like throughout the week, I'm eating my fruits and vegetables, lean meat, I'm having good healthy carbohydrates, I'm getting enough fiber, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, right? And they're consistent with it and so forth, right? But then they leave Motivate, they leave the routine, and they go hang out with family and friends over the weekend. And Saturday and Sunday, they just drank alcohol all weekend long, and they had barbecue and stuff like that, right? And they had this bad weekend, right? And through the bad weekend, right, now they're going back to Monday, back to the routine, they're recovering from the weekend, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then now they're seeing results kind of Thursday, Friday, but then they sabotage it again over the weekend, right? And then you're seeing people that are staying consistent with their workout and nutrition, but they're sabotaging themselves over the weekend, but they don't really realize that they're doing that, right? That what they're doing on the weekend is sabotaging them. So like Joe, you still eat everything, right?
Yeah, I do eat everything, and this is actually a topic that's near and dear to my heart, because living in the corporate world like I used to, I did exactly what Ty's talking about. I'd try to eat healthy throughout the week, and then the weekend would come, and I'd be so excited to be out of work and having a party with my friends or going to see my family, and I'd go and I'd just binge on barbecue and alcohol and all kinds of things. And on Monday, I would feel totally drained, right? And so when I started getting fit and started getting into the lifestyle I'm in now, I am like a lot of you. I didn't want to let go of a lot of the things that I loved, right? And it's not that I had to, but I had to have a healthy relationship with food. Okay, so what that means is I had to realize that maybe out of the 21 meals I eat over the course of 3 weeks, 3 times a day, 1 week, 3 times a day, 7 days a week, maybe I'm making a meal 1 time a week where I'm eating those unhealthy things, right? And so I have to realize that when I do, like Kaylin says, that's gonna hurt me, right? So if I'm set up with a long run for that day, then I know that I'm gonna really struggle on that long run, and it's really gonna set me back. Now that not only hurts my training, but it hurts me emotionally knowing that I had a direct action that brought me to a place where I'm not progressing anymore, right? And so I have that healthy relationship with food now. Now, a lot of you may have seen me out when we do events or things like that, and maybe I might have something that looks really good, and it's maybe fatty and sugary and all that, but what you're not seeing is the meals throughout the entire week that I'm eating at home that are based in whole foods, right? I've got sweet potatoes that I'm eating, vegetables, lean meats, and when I do eat meat, I don't eat a lot. I eat it as a accessory to the food I eat, right? So I think it's important to keep in mind that you don't have to remove everything from your diet, and we're not asking you to do that, but we are asking you to realize that some of the foods you eat are going to set you back, and you have to keep that in mind, especially on the weekends when if you're not coming to the workouts and you're doing your family stuff, your stuff with friends. That has to be tops in your mind that, oh, if I eat this thing, I'm gonna have to deal with the consequences of it. So
right. And that kind of leads us into consistency, right? The more your training and your nutrition are in line, the more consistent and the better you feel. The better you feel while you're training and throughout the rest of your day too. We've all been there, or maybe you haven't yet, where you have a period where you're eating really clean and you feel great, and then you have maybe instead of just one meal, you have that day where you go a little overboard, right? And it might not even include alcohol. And the next day your body is like, what the heck did you just do to me? Right? So, and that's why we always talk about consistency, because one little thing like that can set you back.
Right.
But if you're consistent, the more you work out, the more you want to treat your body well in other ways. The better you eat, the more you feel good, and the more you want to expand that healthy energy. So that's why we talk about consistency all the time, and keeping your goal, whatever your goal is, 100 miles, 10 pounds, whatever your goal is, keeping that in mind and always working toward that every day. With small, consistent steps, which is what Ty always talks about.
So I tell people too that, if you do a little bit every day, you're going to produce a huge result in the long run, right? So you take that positive or negative, right? If you do a little bit of positive, exercise every day, you're eating well every day, you're going to produce a result that you want in the long run, right? If you do a little bit of bad, like if you have a beer at night, every single night, you're going to produce something that you don't want, right? If you eat cheese dip every day, right, you can produce something you don't want. But if you do a little bit every once in a while, right, you'll stay the same, right? So it's not going to produce a bad result. So you want to kind of like this little rule, out of sight, out of mind, right? In my, just like, you know, in my apartment, like I don't buy the bad stuff and have it in my apartment. The things that are easy to get, I want that to be the real Whole Foods. When I go out, like, you know, me and Alicia the other day, you know, we wanted ice cream. So we went to Sweet Rituals and had ice cream, right? And it was like an event. And we did it was something special.
Special occasion.
It was
Yeah.
a special occasion, something special we did, right? But in our apartment, we have potatoes and rice and beans and vegetables, right? We don't have the bad stuff there that's easy available. We have it out of sight, out of mind, we have it away, right? Because we know, like, when we're in training, and you're in training if you're training for a 5K, or you've told your coach that you're trying to lose 10 pounds, right? If you have a goal, you're in training. And when you're in training, you want to make sure you're fueling your body correctly so you can see results as fast as possible. Don't sabotage it. And when you hit the goal, celebrate a little bit, right? Or when you're out with friends, celebrate a little bit, you know? But if you do have a cheat meal, if you have one cheat meal and you're spending your whole week looking forward to that cheat meal, then you probably should stay away from the cheat meal for a little bit, right? Because you shouldn't be, your goal is to learn how to love the good for you foods, right? You're trying to train yourself to love rice and beans, to love a green smoothie, to love a salad, you know, with like lean turkey or chicken or beef, you know? Like you're trying to teach yourself to love those things, right? And when you go out with friends, you know, you're at this restaurant and you're like, oh, I used to have that, so you have it, right? But when you go back home, you're focusing on what's good for you, and you're learning how to like those things and changing your taste buds and doing it consistently. So if you do a cheat meal, you don't want to have to look forward to it, because if you look forward to it, then you'll say 2 days later, you're like, oh, I'm going to do it again. And then you do it again, and the next day you do it again. And you'll say, Monday I'm going to start new. But then you don't, you know, because so forth. So,
Yeah.
it's about 10 minutes.
Yeah, well, the only other thing I would add is that, you know, as coaches, we are here to motivate you. We provide your workout. We, you know, are texting you and calling you and emailing you all the time and giving you all kinds of healthy tips. But ultimately, the change has to come from you. We need, you know, we can go 80% of the way, we can go maybe 90% of the way, but we can't come to your house, drag you out of bed, put your clothes on for you, get you to your workout, cook your meals, go grocery shopping and those sorts of things. But we do have an awesome community of people who are knowledgeable about that, and we want to make that available to all of you, and just emphasize again that you have to want it too. We want it for you already, but you have to want it too.
What was the phrase that you said to a client?
If nothing changes, then nothing changes. So how you can look at that is, I want all these changes in myself, right? Maybe I want to lose weight. Maybe I want to be able to run faster. Maybe I want to have more energy to keep up with the kids every day. But if nothing about you changes, then those changes can't happen. So nothing changes unless something changes.
Exactly. Seems so kind of like duh,
Yeah.
but it's
Yeah.
the truth.
It's got, you have to make a lifestyle change. And that's hard. But if you can stick with it for 20, 28 days consistently, it'll become who you are, it'll become a routine, it'll become a habit, and it'll become easier. First 2 weeks are tough. But you have to stay consistent and create the new healthy habit.
Right.
Okay.
Exactly.